We're continuing in the book of Genesis. We're in the third portion, Lech Lecha. God tells Abraham to leave his home, to leave his birthplace, to leave his land, to go to a land that God will tell him. He doesn't know where he's going, and he picks up and he leaves. This is given by our commentators as one of the 10 tests that Abraham is put through, that through his life he is tested and challenged 10 times. So these challenges and tests that he goes through help him to know himself, help him to actualize the potential that he has, and help him to have a more intimate relationship with God. And so too, perhaps we can see the challenges and the struggles in our lives as ways for us to learn about ourselves so that we can do what Abraham did, to be bigger and better in the world and to have a more intimate relationship with God than we otherwise would have. So we have tests and trials in our lives to help us grow and to help us to connect to God and ourselves. And then God takes Abraham outside and he tells him to look up at the stars. And he says to him, you and your descendants through Isaac and Jacob will not be ruled by the stars. You are a nation like no other, one that exists independent of the natural order. The fact that the Jewish people are still here after all of the history of humanity, that other civilizations and nations have come and gone, and the Jewish nation is still here, is testament to this teaching that God is teaching Abraham, you and your descendants through Isaac and Jacob will have always a capacity to live in the world that is independent of the natural order. And the third lesson is that Abraham is described as the Eved Ivri, as the servant who stands apart. Abraham stood for God's values, and he had to stand counter-culture against the culture within which he lived. The people around him had different values, and Abraham had to learn and did learn how to stand apart from that, to stand tall, to stay connected to God. And that's also something that we have to do in our lives. We have to learn that when the society around us has different values than us, that we hold true to who we are as Jews and who we are as the chosen people, who we are as a nation that is not governed by the natural order, as a people that is in the hands of God. That is who we are. And we have a mission to bring light to the world, to bring Jewish values to the world, to bring God to the world. And that's something we should hold on to, even when the world around us doesn't have the same values or fights against our values. We have to be the Abraham in our generation and stand apart and stand tall and stand proud and stand connected to God. So that's the lesson I'd like to pull out from this week's Torah portion, that we are tested in order to know ourselves and to grow and to connect to God, that we are a nation that stands independent of nature, and that we are against the society within which we live because we hold on to the values that have been passed down through the generations, through Jewish history. That's who we are. And may we actualize that. May we be all that we can be and bring light unto the world.